Misting is a great way to give your plants humidity, but it's important that you don't spit on them because that's just rude. And it creates large drops of water which could cause bacteria to grow. I use a continuous spray bottle because it creates a perfect mist. And this also came from Amazon. And for plants that need really high humidity, I use moisture domes. I guarantee your local thrift store has an entire aisle devoted to glass vases, dishes, and jars, and it's a great way to trap humidity. Follow for more plant tips. I wanted to tell you guys the #1 secret to plant care. A lot of new plant parents come to me asking for advice because their plant isn't happy. And if your plant's unhappy, the only thing I know for sure is that what you're doing now is not working. So try something different. Which brings me to my secret: don't be afraid to experiment. If you're currently letting your plant dry out between waterings, try watering it more. If your plant stays damp all the time, try letting it dry out. Is it in a shady corner? Move it closer to the window. Just keep trying new things until you figure out what makes your plant happy. I personally learned to care for plants by experimenting over the years. And if you're afraid that your plant will get worse while you're experimenting, you might need to start with an easier care plant that's a little more forgiving. And if you're looking for an easy care plant, start with the 3 amigos: a pothos, a ZZ plant, or a snake plant. I'm always happy to help with plant questions, but you know your plant better than anybody. And the more you experiment, the more you'll learn.
Wow. Part 1 of Mom Growing Ginger. Let's get started. My mom prefers to use dirt instead of soil. This is why my mom prefers dirt over soil. The one that she planted in soil started to rot. You guys see right here and right here. Too much moisture.
So you put the ginger like this and you pull it that much. Don't put it really hot, really low, like that. Really good. Okay. You put the ginger down on the dirt and you don't water now. About 2 days later, you water them. They'll be fine. That's ready. Time.
How to take your tulips from sad and droopy to so happy and perky. Next up, you're going to want to take off the bottom leaf of every stalk, and the reason is you don't want this leaf to sit under the water surface. One final step, take them away from the sunlight and any windowsill and put them in a quieter, less sunny corner.
Sansevieria plant care tips. All these unique 5 are all Sansevieria, also known as snake plants. This is the Laurenti. Here's your samurai that looks like a little sculpture. You've got the starfish, your braided cylindrica, and this beauty is a fernwood. These plants are widely known for being some of the easiest plants. They can tolerate super low light, they're very drought tolerant, they don't have a lot of humidity needs, they like if you clean their leaves but they don't need it, and I personally think they're some of the coolest plants around. These super thick, well, I guess they're not super thick, but they have these thick leaves. Look at all that beautiful variegation on it. They take incredible forms and they kind of just do their thing. If you want them to grow faster, bright indirect light will really help. The main thing to watch for is not overwatering them. Let their soil dry out completely before you water again. And make sure that they're in a pot that's not too big for them. They actually like to be a little bit more snug in the pot, and if there's too much excess soil, it can cause root rot. Oh, and they birth their own little babies, and you can take those out and actually create new plants with them.
The next time you're boiling eggs, don't throw out the water. When you boil eggs, the shells emit calcium, phosphorus, sulfur, and potassium into the water, which are essential for plant growth. It'll make your plant bigger, greener, and healthier. Just make sure to let it cool down before you apply.
You gotta know this. Your plants do not like compact soil. Look at how compact this is. Why? Because the roots need oxygen. So before I water this, I'm gonna actually aerate the soil. Much better. And all you need is a chopstick. Your plants will very much appreciate this.
Hey y'all, this is Things Beginner Plant Parents Should Know Part 2. Let's talk about light. Light depends on how much sky your plant can see. So get down on the level of your plant and see how much sky they can see on the placement that they are. You can use a filtered curtain like this to create indirect bright light. Use a compass to see the direction your windows face, and also note how the sun moves around your windows throughout the day. And just because your plant isn't directly up against the window doesn't mean that it's not receiving light, as this golden pothos right here. Also consider apartment buildings or patio covers that are blocking light. You can use mirrors to reflect light into your home. And if all else fails, get some cheap grow lights. For more information, check out my blog, link in the bio.
So I heard a few of you don't really know how to take care of orchids. Well, here we go. This is Orchid Care 101. The one you got from your grocery store probably looks like this. Orchids like bright, indirect light, but can tolerate some direct light. In the wild, they grow on trees, kind of like air plants, and don't really get a lot of direct sunlight. Light really depends on your environment. Like if you live in Florida, it shouldn't get more than 2 hours of direct sun. You'll scorch it. North or east facing windows are great. These are aerial roots, don't cut them. I like to water once a week. Take the pot it's in out of the decorative pot, bring it to your sink, and run under warm water for about 30 seconds and let drain completely. You can also mist once a week. If you want to know something really cool, when the flowers drop, that doesn't mean the plant is dead. If the flower stem doesn't turn brown right away, cut after the 4th node, and it will start to grow more flowers. This one died, so I cut it completely back, meaning that this is a brand new flower stem. Is your orchid okay?
Today I'm going to share 3 hacks that will prolong your original plant investments. Save the filler greenery from your flower arrangements and put them in separate vases. They will last months in water and look super cute around your house. Never get rid of your orchid even after it loses its petals. Orchids rebloom. This is one I got in December and it's already reblooming. They can even change colors. And my 3rd tip is to propagate new succulents from the leaves of old succulents. It's super easy to do, just look it up on YouTube. Here's one I've recently propagated. Follow me for more home hacks and tips.
Hey new plant parents, I have over 100 plants and these are some things that I didn't know that if I knew sooner I probably would save a lot of plants that I killed. First thing is every single plant is different. You want to Google search top to bottom, lighting, humidity, soil, everything like that. Every single plant's different. You want to make sure that you can cater to its needs. Also, you need to know the difference between partial shade, shade, indirect light, bright indirect light, direct light, all of those lighting situations. You also need to know that misting your plants is not increasing humidity for a long time, it's only doing it temporarily. So you want to make sure you either cluster them together or have a pebble tray, humidifier. I do a mister on top of all of that to just kind of help it, but misting is not going to sustain it for a long time. Also, I would look at Facebook Marketplace before you buy a plant because there might be some a lot cheaper and a lot bigger. I might turn this into a series, so comment if you want that, and also follow for more plant TikToks.
Life hack! This one's for all you plant lovers who don't have a naturally green thumb. This is my hack for how to get healthy plant hydration. Add a few sponges to the bottom of your pots. The sponges work to prevent water from settling at the bottom, which causes root rot. They also retain moisture and create necessary airspace. Follow me for more life hacks.
This is like the most common question I see. Honestly, your plants could be droopy for 2 reasons. Either you're overwatering and your roots are starting to rot, or you're underwatering. Give your plant as much water as it needs, but let it dry between.
I work with plants for a living, and I'm here to tell you you have the magical powers to know when any type of plant needs to be watered. Get ready, here's your magical power. Your finger. Stick your finger about this deep in any plant. If you take it out and you see dirt on it, don't water. Don't do it. Overwatering kills plants. Now if you stick your finger in and it looks more like this, it's time. If you get your plant completely bone dry like this, it might get sad. But when you water this, it'll bounce back. If you overwater it, it will not come back. Say it with me. Underwatering is better than overwatering. Underwatering is better than overwatering. Next time I'll talk about how sometimes the watering frequency changes.
Planttok, I have a confession. I've been trying the pasta water hack. If you haven't heard, sometimes people try putting unsalted pasta water in their plants to revive them. This is the initial post that made me want to try it. You can pause and read it if you want. Mine's done cooking, now I'm gonna strain it. And before you comment, yes, I put salt on my pasta like after I cook it, I just don't put it in the pasta water. I strained my mac and cheese into this. This is how much pasta water I got. Now I'm gonna wait for it to get to room temperature. While we wait, let me show you my Monstera, which I have used pasta water on. These were the size of the leaves before I used pasta water. And then this is after. You can see we have big leaf, little fenestration. And then holy moly, I was freaking out when this leaf came out. And then this is the new one. As you can see, it's smaller. I'm not sure if it's because I recently moved or if because you need to keep doing the pasta water to keep the leaves big. Running out of time, let's do it on my experiment. Pasta water, Brita water.
Why you shouldn't mist your houseplants, at least like this. As you can see, the drops are very large, and as they sit on the leaves, bacteria forms, which can eventually kill your plant. Here are some better ways. Happy planting! One of my favorite organic gardening practices is ladybugs. First, you have to refrigerate them for at least an hour. You can see as soon as you pull them out, they're very active and ready to go. This is my variegated sea hibiscus, native to Hawaii, and she is one of my most valued plants. As you can see down here, she's got a little bit of a pest problem going on, and so that's why we are releasing these ladybugs today. This is what they're gonna help with. The first thing we need to do is to give the ladybugs something to drink by spraying some droplets of water on the leaves. I do not recommend misting plants in this way for any other reason. It's best to release them in the morning or in the evening. Just trim the corner and release them onto the soil of your plants. You can see this one here getting a drink. These little babes are truly such a treasure for any indoor or outdoor garden. Be sure to follow for more organic plant care tips.
How to revive your dying plants in 5 steps. I saw that my plants were dying, and sometimes your plants may shrivel if there's too much sun or if it's too hot outside. You can bring them back to life in 4 hours by simply heavily watering it. Place it in the shade. After about 20 minutes, you'll see your leaves begin to uncurl, and in under 4 hours, your plant will be alive again. The process is incredibly unique, and it's so interesting to watch your plant revive itself. Remember that these minions are very durable, and all they really need is a little bit of love. And if you like this, press that follow on my profile.
So I just learned you can actually reuse your snake plant cuttings multiple times. So say you're water propagating a snake plant, you cut it up, you put them into water. Then once the pup forms, you can actually pull off that baby and put the old one back into water and get new ones.
Do you ever notice that your plant's soil is kind of compacted? It's a good idea to aerate the soil every now and then. You just need to take a stick and poke about 2 to 3 holes. Aeration is so important because plants are living beings just like us. This will provide more oxygen flow for the plant and for the water to distribute evenly.